Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It is currently early evening on the 5th of May here in the United Kingdom. This is really interesting. This is the video that I showed yesterday. It's only 33 seconds long. I'm going to play it again. This is a desecration of the Nijmegen War Cemetery. Desecration by pro-Ukrainians, whether it was Ukrainians or people from Holland or people from elsewhere who were pro-Ukrainian, I don't know. Slava. Fuck Putin. Fuck Russia. Nazi swastikas. The War Cemetery has got Ukrainian flags on it, wolf's angles, Nazi swastikas and Azov. And the Russia that you see there is meant to be preceded by the word fuck. There is also fuck Putin on this thing. There are 1,642 war dead from the Allies in this war cemetery in Holland. And on the 4th of May 2022, it was desecrated by Ukrainians or pro-Ukrainians. People who follow the Azov battalion, who you will have heard me talking about. And they follow Nazism, as you can see. The Walsangle and the swastika, as provided, are one and the same, and they link directly to Azov and they link directly to Ukraine. Ukraine, the country, the government, the state. Azov, along with Aidar, along with the Donbass battalions, along with C-14, along with Right Sector, along with Svoboda, which is a political party. These are all part of the government machinery. They influence the government machinery. They are paid by the government to deliver what the government wants. Children are taught to hate Russia and hate Russians from a very early age. Azov Battalion is running children's camps in the style of Hitler Youth. And why am I showing this again? Well, the reason that I'm showing this again is because I was looking to see what the mainstream media was talking about it. So here's something from the NL Times, Netherlands Times. Yesterday, Wednesday, May the 4th, Nijmegen War Cemetery vandalised on Remembrance Day. I mean, this is not a big media outlet. Swastikas and Ukrainian flags were spray painted onto graves and monuments at the Jonkabos War Cemetery in Nijmegen overnight. The cemetery is closed yesterday. The police are investigating, looking for witnesses. The war cemetery contains the graves of 1,642 soldiers who died on Dutch soil during World War II. The graveyard on Burgemeester-Daleslaan is British territory because the vast majority of the graves are of British soldiers. But soldiers from Canada, Australia and other allied countries are also buried there, including one from Russia. And there are a bunch of unknowns. The entrance gates to the plot were tagged with swastikas and Ukrainian flags. They were also tagged with the Walsangle and Azov. And all of this comes together. Azov, Walsangle, swastika, Ukrainian flag. One and the same. Gravestones bear slogans including fuck Russia and fuck Putin. Removing the graffiti will be difficult because the gravestones are made of very porous material. This became apparent in 1993 when the graves were also vandalised. 3 men were arrested for that act of vandalism. I got somebody at the door. Here is a picture of it. Slava Ukraini, wolf's angles, Azov, swastikas, Ukrainian flag. So what is the wider mainstream media saying? Well, this is from yesterday, 22 hours ago. Dutch king lays wreath. Thousands attend remembrance event. That's at a war memorial in Amsterdam. This is the Independent. This is UK News, the Independent. Dutch King Willem-Alexander laid a wreath Wednesday at a war memorial in Amsterdam during the first national commemoration of the country's war dead since coronavirus restrictions were lifted earlier this year. Thousands of people, including at least one draped in a Ukrainian flag. So there was actually somebody there. I'm not registered to actually read this bullshit. The only thing from the Independent to do with the Netherlands yesterday was about King Willem-Alexander laying a wreath in Amsterdam. No mention of Nijmegen. No mention of Nazis desecrating one of the most important war cemeteries for Britain and for Holland. No mention at all. So I thought I would look. What news is there? So Nijmegen Cemetery vandalised. This is page 1. This is the news. So this would come from news sources. NL Times. ABC News, which I believe is Australia. Dutch king lays wreath. Thousands attend remembrance event. Mazzol. Mazzol, whoever Mazzol is, but it's not British. I don't know what language that is. The cemetery in Nijmegen, Netherlands was vandalised. NL Times, a brick thrown through a Russian supermarket's windows back on the 8th of March. Various other stuff from the NL Times. So this is nothing about Nijmegen. So it's all NL Times. And we've already seen that NL Times comes into it. So I decided to look for War Cemetery vandalised, Azov. Under news. The Guardian, 6 days ago, talks about Russian losses. The Guardian then talks about a military aid package. That was 2 weeks ago. Daily Mail. Brutal sect of Chechens executed Russian troops in Ukraine 4 days ago. How Ukrainians saved their capital, the New Yorker. Daily Mail. Russia's butchers a butcher. Arab News. A month ago, man admits vandalising memorial to Manchester bomb attack. Pulitzer Centre. How Ukrainians said there's nothing about the war cemetery being vandalised coming up on Google at all. Nowhere. I went through 3 pages of this. So, what about the Daily Mail? The Daily Mail. The top article. Vandals desecrate graves of Muslim soldiers with swastikas. This was in 2008. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. 10 hours ago, bloody battles inside Azovstal. Nothing. 4 days ago, brutal sect of Chechens executed Russian troops in Ukraine. 24th of February, graves of British soldiers smashed in a Libyan cemetery. Okay, so it's nothing to do with Holland. 4th of April, woman, or pro-Ukrainian stuff. Pro-Ukrainian. Not a word. But, well, maybe it's just not coming up in the Google search. Does that make sense? So, let's have a look at the Mail Online right now. Let's have a look at the Russia-Ukraine war. Right now, the top news, or all the news about the Russia-Ukraine news on the Daily Mail Online. Russian TV host threatens concentration camps. A medic becomes Russia's first female soldier killed. Putin's cruise missile. I'm going to do a quick video later on about this other one here, about a blogger being arrested in Spain. Housing. Azov style. US intelligence. Woman opens home. There will be no mercy. Car dealer. Interest rates. Medic. Blogger. Delivering groceries. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There is absolutely nothing here about Nijmegen in the Daily Mail. Now, why am I focusing on the Daily Mail? Well, back in, when was this? 2015. Back in 2015, teenage girl soldier hailed as Ukraine's Joan of Arc by Elle magazine is revealed as neo-Nazi and is arrested over cop killing. They actually had an issue over individual neo-Nazis in Ukraine, did the Daily Mail. They had a right go at the French magazine Elle, which was praising female Ukrainian fighters. But the Daily Mail found out she was a neo-Nazi. She was part of IDAR, the IDAR battalion. So they had a right go, and they decided to put a full set of information up about her. A neo-Nazi portrayed as Ukraine's version of Joan of Arc by French fashion magazine Elle for her brave fight against the Russian separatists has been arrested in connection with the deaths of 2 policemen. At first glance, it seems shocking this slight blonde teenager could be involved at all, but Vita, 19, is charged with an attempt on an officer of the law. And a quick search reveals she is an active promoter and supporter of vile neo-Nazi ideals. Look at her. Nazi symbology, doing the Heil Hitler salute. This is one individual. Nazi flag behind her. Got her face covered. She's got a big gun there. Rabid Nazi Vita Zavaruha, who talks about killing Russians and Jews, gets featured in Elle France. Unfortunately, though, the problem is the West has turned a complete blind eye to all of this. This is one individual. They were very happy to start talking about the Nazi brigades, the way that Nazism and neo-Nazism is infiltrating into Ukrainian culture. They're very happy to talk about it back in 2015. But right now, they are whitewashing this whole thing. Completely whitewashed it. So, the NL Times made very clear May 4th, 2022. Azov. Swastikas. Wall sangles. Slava Ukraini. Ukrainian flags. Fuck Putin, fuck Russia. 4th of May, 2022. And there is absolutely nothing being reported by the Western media. but it is reported by the NL Times. And I did put up some further information in my video yesterday, which provides further corroboration. Let's just make an assumption. Let's just say it didn't happen yesterday and it happened a couple of years ago, let's say. You've already got Nazi, swastika, Ukraine flag, Azov, Wolfsangel, Slava Ukraini, all intermixed. All of it intermixed. What is really interesting though, if you look up Nijmegen Cemetery vandalised, nothing there. If you look up War Cemetery vandalised, you do get information about things that have happened at war cemeteries over time. And not one of them mentions anything to do with Azov or Slava Ukraini. Because there are general people who will generally go and desecrate war graves. But this is a direct connection to Azov and to Ukraine and to their government.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.